Greetings, same choice. That's broadcast. Okay, yeah, I've been doing this new format because I've been doing it channeling forever, and this is another form of it. It's just where I don't look like a crazy person. The cats are here messing around. Yeah, they're just laying around now. I guess they went back into kill each other mode. So yeah, this is just more of a conscious channeling. So I don't look like a crazy person. So like do these connections, and I don't look like, because I'm channeling, I look like a freak for some people. It's like it's only for a small group apparently, which is fine. But yeah, I feel like I'm going deeper into another realm. Just sort of so. Yeah, I don't know if you see them back there. I can definitely hear them. Yeah, they're in attack mode. Oh yeah, for the cats, to give you some insight, I don't have them in front of me, obviously, but Fritzy is a more outgoing one. Sometimes, she's more like the one that will go out. If she's outside, she'll go and just go on to kill mode, and just go after birds and go after everything that moves. Priscilla's a little bit more like that, but she's more playful. She's not the kill animal. She's not the kill cat. So she's more like the kid. And Priscilla, I feel, yeah, she had human lifetimes. That's why she has a human name. And I felt like she was going through some kind of abusive lifetime in her past. I just felt that. I think she's getting over it now, whatever it was. So she becomes a cat and heals from it. So put some kind of insight into that. Usually, from you look at it from any point of view, but it feels like some animals that have human names, most likely they have been human in some form. See a cat fly by in the background, don't be too surprised. So yeah, this new channel form is just just go with the flow of it. Some people are always looking, it's like opening a gateway, a reality. It's just some people are trying to grab on information, trying to get deeper, and that's fine. But just kind of let the information flow, and you'll be surprised where it'll take you. So that's what this is all about. So there's no agenda. The agenda is just unlocking timelines, blockages, things like that. So yeah, it's not going to fit with everybody, but this is a new direction. But it's basically the idea is for us to go into a new direction altogether. Well, vibrationally. So there's Archon DNA Wars. Manly P. Hall, Illuminati researcher. I feel like I had to add that because Manly P. Hall, I believe I've heard somewhere where, yeah, he's like part of the elite in some form. He's kind of like a David Icke of his times, kind of. But I feel like he is part of the elite in some form. And he did not release everything because he did a lot of occult research. But I feel like he kept a lot back, obviously. So he did research for the occult, the ones running the show. Maybe not the top brass, but some of them. And then Pleiadian light rooms, and that's healing energies, healing crystals, things like that. We'll just sort of follow where that goes. So, right. So it's Antarctic Economy private sessions. I have a shop here. I'm on the 30th still. Same situation here. We have the webinar, social network, Rabbit, behind the scenes, and dating site. And this is Manly P. Halls for those that don't know who he is. I don't know, just he wrote a lot of books. This is some of them. Freemancery. Yeah, can't see it. Of the ancient Egyptians, secret destiny of America. Yeah, it's just I haven't read any of these, but there's some stuff there here and there. Maybe a watered down version. I don't know. I don't know if I trust a lot of what he's saying there, but either way. So for the Archon wars, Archon DNA energies. So yeah, they put Archon beings put ideas into our minds. They remove ideas. They take ideas. They're are shifting our reality. They're but I also feel like it's DNA harvesting of some kind. They say it's part of the bloodlines in some form or another. It's basically some of these wars are just to get our DNA or get certain people, break them down, get certain people, bloodlines that the elite would want. Let's put it that way. Like some people might have Egyptian bloodline connections or some kind of these wars in the past. I'm talking about more of the past and present of why some of the agendas of some of these wars that were created. You can even say it's more of an astral, agenda, and they just carry it out here in the physical. But some of it has to, yeah, because they create these different bloodlines, and of course the elite here aren't always aware of what they're doing. They just kind of go by their feeling, and so they can continue their lineage here in some form or another. I feel like there's also DNA vaults even now. Of course, this is nothing new. Like some kind of DNA, harvesting that's happening now, which is no surprise. A lot of them are underground for obvious reasons. There is some reptilian energy there somewhere. And yeah, you can say it's part of like some kind of super soldier energy that we're heading into. Well, we are going to advance ourselves also. There is DNA. I feel like there's infusions already that can actually move us along ahead, to upgrade us, but obviously they choose not to. That was a cat. So yeah, there's DNA out there somewhere that's that it feels like they can like an infusion that can actually help us. Of course, you hear about that in secret space and all that, but usually I don't tap into it very often. Not that they're going to give it to anybody, but they don't know what it's going to do either. It doesn't. I don't believe it's always 100% with even the elites. It doesn't work with them very well either. I mean, it causes them kind of mind loss and dysfunction and disforms them a little bit in some regard too. So, I mean, you see all these pharmaceutical companies, all that, they're getting blood, they're getting all of this. I don't know what they're carrying with them. It's a lot. It's like the gods of DNA that's here right now. Of course, that's where their alien energies are, trying to make some alien connection or some kind of tap into alien. That would be one place. Of course, there's a lot of Archon energy there, but there's a lot of DNA harvesting there for sure, unfortunately. When this all starts to unlock, when we start knowing about it, it's hard to say right now. Yeah, it just has to go by the vibration of it at this time. Kind of, I definitely feel a vault, where they keep all this hidden. For Manly P. Hall, yeah, as I do feel like he's part of the Illuminati bloodline to some degree. Maybe reluctant to go about it, but he is part of it to some form. And even those that want to learn more about these type of things, you can research through him if you want to. It's up to you. Do I feel any regrets from him? I feel like he regrets not explaining a lot of this to people, not going deeper into it. because I felt like he had to keep a lot of stuff back. Something he learned about the Egyptians that is not made allowed to be made known. More of the Egyptians. Somehow he just had contacts and arrangements where he just knew people deeper in the realm. So, of course, I believe that a pyramid or some kind of pyramids at one time can levitate or fly at one time. Let's see. Manly P. Let's see. Manly P. Hall is also here too. Yeah, of course the elite are here to set us back, turn us backwards through mind manipulation. Through well, I feel like we're in a period of unlocking a lot of that manipulation. Not fully just yet, but um, yeah, at least where the occult becomes more known, because the occult is connected to obviously they say satanic energies, but alien energies, of course. That's what goes into reptilian beings that are still being healed, reptilian beings that come from other planets that have been refugees or brought here. You know, a lot of reptilian beings have been brought here to lower the Earth's vibration against their will, meaning they can capture alien energy, torture it, and bring it here and cause mayhem. So we're not the only ones being tortured here. Other alien beings are. Of course, we're not seeing it. We're not. I believe there's also reptilian prisons here. To be honest with you, yeah, like alien reptilian jails. Well, because if they lower the reptilian energies, those are like psychotic. Of course, they let a lot of psychotics out here. Let's put it this way: they somehow they harness lower dimensional reptilian beings here. They prison them here somehow. And while they're in that prison, they become more psychotic and they manipulate our society. That's what I'm getting from that. So they don't want them to be freed here. I'll take that however you want, but I do feel like a jail cell, maybe not how we would depict it, but in a lot of ways it makes sense. It's like you have weaponized beings that have already been tortured, and they can automatically torture us, and they're doing a hell of a job. And a lot of it's with the mind. They just have a lot of mental power. Some of the reptilians are also connected to Arcturian energies, where their minds are just very powerful. And so you can take a reptilian and weaponize it with, splice it with an Arcturian being, which of course Arcturians are usually higher frequencies, but you can find some way of making that work. We have like a reptilian that has like kind of a larger head, and where it's just weaponize it to manipulate our society. That's why we're forgetting things. And that's part of it. At least that's a world that I'm seeing here. They make a nice movie, that's for sure. Maybe not a good one, but more like a horror movie. Well, that was the other thing about a lot of the movies currently is all horror movies. The popular ones is like people are not obviously. I mean, they don't believe in any spiritual connection, but obviously there's still their darkness. They're being played by the lower astral beings. So that lower astral beings, yes, it's like it's a playground for them, obviously. And people are not ready to let it go. So they laugh about all the spiritual connections and aliens and all that, yet they're going to watch horror movies that's lowering their frequency to keeping them in prison here. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a horror movie, but I guess you just know what it's doing to people or how much mind control and influence it can have. Because some people, in some of these movies, like you go see a movie, yeah, an orb comes out of the movie or comes some kind of, it can manipulate people. So, yeah, watch what you watch. Yeah, because it had trickster energies attached to it, and that's just in a movie theater or in Netflix or anything. Anything has a low frequency, and you're not aware of what it's doing because it has a hypnotic trace to it. So, I believe a lot of that will start being diagnosed and disconnected over time. It's so ingrained in our society. Healing that's going to take some time. Not to ban horror movies or anything like that, but just know that's where you're looking for magic. you can see magic there. That's where obviously the satanic stuff, but I think it goes even deeper in satanic. It just goes to just, of course, a lot of these demonic beings want to be known. Like you understand them more, you don't get manipulated by them anymore. But if you're just afraid of them and want to run away, and that's fine. But if you're ready to understand them, you'll see how much hurt is within these demonic beings. They're just hard to heal. It's hard to heal from something what they've been through. Yeah, they have all this knowledge, and it's just they're looking for attention through our arts and entertainment and all that demonic possessions. They're looking for attention. They're looking, showing how smart they are. They're doing a lot of things that's going there. It's kind of complicated. With Pleiadian light rooms, that's where energies are renewed. So like I would say you can do this in astral. Some people connect to, not always. Some people that have fights in astral are, I believe, here to break us out of all this in some form or another. Like sometimes, like you want to just leave the war, you want to just stay there. It just, there's a reason to everything. It's just, you might wake up, like, God, was I just through a fist fight or something like that? You probably were. But that's here to break us free from all this. Obviously, it takes a while. But the Pleiadian light rooms are just, renewing DNA. Allow song is like refreshing your aura, allowing your own song, your own music. Because everyone has a vibration, it has a sound to it. Letting your sound be known. I guess that's why some people become singers, because they want to just share that vibration of themselves, which makes sense. They just want to. They love their vibration, so they want to share it with the world. Makes perfect sense there. So Pleiadian light rooms is also for, removing attachments, but it's usually, I feel like, the sixth dimension. I believe it goes higher than that, but for us, it'd be more like a sixth dimension. It's more like a spa. So you can almost like visualize if you're connected to this energy. It's not for everybody. Like going into like an energy spa where you're like getting a shower of light, just calming yourself down and just allowing positive timelines to connect with you. So some people are connected to, we're all connected to lower frequencies for obvious reasons, through family reasons, through countless, through work, whatever it might be. So we're in a timeline. So, because the starseed energies here, there are not that many of them here. I mean, there's a lot, but many are actually here to, bring in new timelines. We don't have to go through this mindset anymore. So it's like people wonder what they're doing here. Many people are clearing the mindset, so we can just not have to go through what we've been through already. So we go into a new era. It doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, but that we don't have to make these same mistakes anymore. Like with children, they'll be raised a little bit better. School system, they'll fall apart eventually. When the government starts to fall apart, where we don't need that mindset anymore. Where more of the heart chakra becomes more vibrant. The heart chakra within everything becomes more alive. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect. Like the school system has a heart chakra. Military has its heart chakra. Actually, that's pretty dark right now. Wonder why. Well, because it doesn't want to show what it's doing. So, all these secrets that are happening here, like in the military, secret CIAs and all that, it's not time yet, but eventually they won't be able to secure themselves anymore, meaning that there's nothing to hide anymore. We got a while for that. I mean, they're going to be secure for now, but where I guess you can say they bring down their systems, when that happens, another story. That's a tough one. because people are so part of this mind control system, and that's part of the mind control system. The CIA and other groups are involved with mind control here, Montauk, etc. Hope everything goes okay tonight. Talking about this, yeah, that's like the center of it. At least one of them. There's more, but um, yeah, energies around NORAD breaking down. Yeah, just not yet. Not yet. I mean, even all these agencies they're like libraries. And it's like anything like in history where it just starts to lose its grip, like Rome. Like CIA is built like Rome right now. It's like very secure. Wants to conquer the world. It technically kind of is. And eventually it starts to crack. Like management starts to crack. It's not the same anymore. It starts to break down. Little by little, it's not as strong as it used to be. Defenses go down. And that's where everything starts to change. But yeah, wow, for that. Obviously, they're having too much fun with it right now. But yeah, so upper management's the control grid has to start breaking down, just like any other empire. Because even these security agencies are the same thing. They're similar to Rome. They're similar to any other empire, basically. So just look at it that way. Yeah. Well, at least you can tap into timelines. Like obviously, I'm probably going a little bit far with saying stuff on here, but that's the yeah that's when these agencies start to not have the power as they do anymore. That's when a lot of our mind control starts to break free. It's where we start to be ourselves again. We feel like we're alive. That because they don't talk about them. They don't talk about them for obvious reasons. They keep the media to program us, but who's doing the programming? It's usually these agencies. Obviously, I mean this is at the top. It's not at the war ends. They're doing whatever, chasing somebody's tail, whatever they invented, the bad guy of the week or whatever they're doing. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. They invent all these little problems for the most part. There might be sometimes a real problem, but usually they just invent it all to justify their existence. That would be the day when all that starts to fall apart. Because if that falls apart, the government's there to follow it. So possibly in this lifetime, like 30 years. That's not as soon as people would like it, but it feels like we're in a steady breakdown right now. It's continuing to do so. So yeah, things are going to get weird, but not to worry. Somehow it'll all work itself out. It's going to get we might see something this year. It's hard to say right at this point. Of course, they manufacture a lot of these events. Obviously, not to go into detail. When you're at the higher power, you can do whatever the hell you want. If you're at not to name names anymore, but when you're like at God's level, it's like, who cares? I mean, even if they say they're an actor or whatever, nobody's gonna believe them. And usually, I guess they pay them to not say that, but there's no doubt. In the media, I mean, if the media wasn't so manipulated, maybe people wouldn't believe it. But I feel like it's all just like Hollywood falling apart right now. I mean, how many people saw Hollywood fall apart? That's falling apart. It's being rebirthed, renewed. But other places are going to start to fall eventually. I have a timeline. Those are major timelines. But yeah, these secret spy agencies. I mean, they're pretty much running the show for the most part. There's probably more to it than that, but yeah, obviously, I'm skating on thin ice right now. Okay, we'll try to change the subject a little bit. Well, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. It's like the top brass, not the full agency. A lot of people have no idea. They're not going to. It's got to be the top brass somewhere. Obviously, they'll deny it anyway if you say anything, or it's like, what the hell you're talking about? But it's there. And then, of course, they know the psychic programs, how to manipulate psychic energy or to get what they want. Not to talk about them, of course. And what? Yeah, and what? I don't think I'm going to disappear tomorrow. Yeah. Let's see here. Where else can we go? Yeah, that's the thing. People got to be careful what you ask for. People want information. You want to know where things are going, and then you ask for it, and the next thing you know, you have unwanted guests. know, so you got to be careful what you're asking for. So there's only a certain line some people want to go. But that really comes down to it. It's just so secretive on certain levels. Just um, so the aliens obviously they're here, but they're not showing themselves. You could say even like I mentioned yesterday about other like yes, people are waiting for Jesus to come back. I mean, there's a lot of people I've had lifetimes as Jesus. They'll be more than happy to in other realities. They'll be more than happy to make themselves more known here. Those would be interesting stories, but they might see things totally different in the timeline that we're aware of. As a black Jesus, there's all these different types of ways of looking at things. That's. I mean, so many people are dead set on that. Like this is the end of times, and Jesus is coming back, and I mean, technically, is already here. Is a whole bunch of versions of him here. So pick your Jesus, basically. So, yeah, what timeline did you know that Jesus from that timeline? I mean, it gets really weird and confusing, but that's when you gotta be really open minded. You gotta be really, really open minded. This is not for everybody. But basically, I mean, at least you're concentrating on that, like the 12th or 5th Jesus you found in this reality, or 20th or 100th. We should concentrate on that and not so much the politics and all this manipulation that's going on, and just at all. We're just starting to discover ourselves, figure ourselves out. It's going to get complicated because if we're multi-dimensional, that can take a long time to figure out. Like how many different versions of Earth did you come from? And if there's billions of them, try keeping track of all of that. It's like, I mean, there's of course in the other planets they have billions of versions of Mars and Venus and Neptune. I mean, you're ready for all that? But yeah, this planet is. I mean, we're seeing it through fiction, different versions of Earth. Ways to give us an idea more about ourselves and the elite that are controlling our reality. What versions of Earth they came from to control our reality makes it more complicated. So, yeah, gets. Let's see here. Anything. Well, I feel like the elites here that are controlling reality, yeah, they don't want to make themselves known, that's for sure. But uh, it feels like they're more because you had the Richard Branson thing today, um, which I'm assuming they're going to start going into space. Are we going to send everybody into space now? So, I mean, not right away, but send animals into space, and that's like the new thing now as the world starts to crumble apart. Well, the world's going to get simpler. So us going into space, or obviously that's not going to be perfect. That's all right. But as we go more into space, I mean, it shows that another timeline, and maybe we can actually sort out some of our problems. Like, it'll take all the people with all the problems, send them out into space. It's funny though. Take all the people that are manipulating reality, send them all into space, and maybe we can sort this place out while they're up there. Maybe they'll do that. I hope they do that. Yeah, send all the rich people that are causing the mayhem here, or whoever is causing it, anybody. Yeah, so we can send all the news up into space, send it all to space, and then maybe we can rebuild the planet. That might be wishful thinking, but you never know. But yeah, we're definitely showing the next space age for sure, and that might be what we're all kind of waiting for. Of course, some of us aren't that excited about it. It's like, where's our aliens? But take what you can get. Of course, it's funny how they sent a British person. That shows that Britain's still running the world. It's like it's just the way it is. So that's pretty obvious. But yeah, if they start igniting more, it might take 6 months, probably a year. But yeah, if they start becoming more comfortable sending people into space and doing this whole space tourism thing, eventually, yeah, going into space won't be a big deal, as we've already seen that in fiction and everything. And that's the way to go. And maybe that's what we're looking for. It's not making itself clear. Maybe that's what we're looking for us to start solving some world problems by sending the problems into space. We can finally get this place in order. Maybe I hope so. Yeah, send all the people causing problems, send them to Mars, and everything will be okay. You never know. If they have a big enough pocketbook to send them there for free, whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, so to go about, there's a possibility if this is what we're working towards, just as space colonies, which should have been done like ages ago, but take what you can get. We're just slow. God, I can't. If they do this whole moon thing, it's like they send like 2 people into space and then that's it for the next 20 years. I give up. it's like just like the moon. They just said, oh yeah, I doubt that's going to happen, but hopefully they start building like society in space, which is good. I mean, most of us can't go anyway, so have at it. But this will be one way to remove a lot of our propaganda here and manipulation, because they're going to take it with them and manipulate space and do whatever they got to do. Is a possibility, which should be good. Yeah, it's not clear. So Bezos is going to go into space in like 9 days, and let's see who else wants to go into space, and that's a good thing. That's to get things moving. Maybe there is hope for this world after all. Because right now it's not looking so great. You never know. Some things are like working right at us, and we're not really paying attention because we want the aliens to show up and do their thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But obviously, that's not happening. But if we colonize space more, that's a good sign on a public level. Obviously, there's another level, but the secret space. But how much secret space can you get? Wouldn't it be nice to see it actually happen here? Not you want to see space wars, but us building society in space, and it feels like things are going to get better. Maybe not instantly. Like I say, send all the problems into space, all the problem childs, all the media, send them in. I mean, they're running out of stuff to do. The media is running out of stuff. They have to invent problems now. So the news, it's just a joke. And in Hollywood is covering up so much. They're not allowing the soul to be heard anymore. The heart chakra of Hollywood's been dark for quite some time. In the past, like 80s, it's been better, 90s has been better, but recently it's like, geez. But yeah, this is the elites want to open themselves up. They're not opening themselves up completely. I think they're kind of hesitant to reveal what's really happening here. Little by little, you get like here's a nugget, there's a little piece here and there. But yeah, I do feel I'm not 100%, but I do feel like the space race is on its way, which is good. And when I connect to that, I feel like a lot of our problems will not end officially, but improve as their focus goes somewhere else. Like I said, it's not that we're out of the woods, far from it, but it does seem like it lifts a lot of our problems because the agendas aren't working here for some. I mean, obviously it's working, but it just gives us some time to heal. So when we're tapping into aliens and all that, and spiritual connections, and then people here in the physical see people out in space and doing whatever, and selling tacos to the moon or whatever, it gets people to think about aliens a little bit more, and then get that spiritual idea out there. and you never know. Well, I mean, a form of it is when we start colonizing space and everything, maybe have another type of space station like a space hotel or something. Possibly. When we start doing more of this stuff, they might have some kind of alien contact, possibly that they'll make public. I'm not holding my breath on that one, but there's a possibility of that. Um, because they're getting more of the us going out into the unknown, but it's hard to. So who knows? I'm just putting that out there. But the space race feels like it's begun, at least on the public level, in a way that's healthy. Like it's almost similar to it feels like when planes are being when they're inventing aircraft, flight. All these little companies started creating planes, and it feels like this is the same thing. It's just a lot more complicated. Of course, flying is kind of complicated, but this is kind of the same type of timeline. Not exactly, but it has a lot of similarities to it. So, and the government is allowing it because they got to do something, or cease to exist, or just deteriorate. Yeah, the military is going to go into space because they have nothing else to do here anymore. I mean, they do, but they don't. And as we go colonize space more, I feel our chakras will start to open up more and be able to tap into more things. At least that's the vibe I get. I don't have 100% on that. You kind of have to experience it. But because the agenda is now going to go as cause mayhem for other people, build a colony on the sun, or whatever they're going to do, build a hot dog stand on the moon if they're allowed to do it. It feels like they're going to do it. They're going to do something with the moon, possibly. Not 100%, but I do feel some kind of space station for space tourism, things like that. It might be so generic, but at least it's something. Well, you got to start somewhere. So it's almost like the railroad in space, and it's very simple. It's like they take a ship, they go to like a docking area, and then they go to another docking area and do whatever. Something like that. It's not making itself 100% clear, but it feels like that's where they're putting a lot of their energy into. Thank goodness. But yeah, the alien energies, I think we just keep tapping into it and just, for those that are ready for this, who knows? I don't feel the aliens want to show themselves just yet. Maybe, vibrations and stuff like that, channelings, but that's about all they're going to do. Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, who knows? Um, it feels like we have to start figuring things out, and this is a good start. Um, we just have to wait and see where this goes. Might be 6 months, might be a year when they start taking space more seriously instead of a bunch of talk. When they start building stuff out there, when they start building more things out there for people to visit, taco stand out in space, things like that, that shows we're going into a definite new age. Obviously, they're planning it, but when they're going to make it public, like talk about it, actually do it, that's what we're looking for. So, well, hopefully, some of that's hopeful. So, it's just another way of looking at things. We just have to wait and see what we think. Nothing's completely clear. I don't think they know what they're doing. Those that are here making the timelines are not quite sure. Of course, the elites are say, "I just colonize everything." Of course, they already have to a certain degree. So I made it public. And even the stuff that secret space program stuff will probably start to leak out here and there. Maybe. God, they have such a hold on that. They're probably just more spiritual connections for now, other versions of Earth and fourth dimension. What's for now. So, all right, all right, all right. All right, blessings everyone. Hopefully that will help. All right.